Dear Father, please, my heart is aching. Took a lot out of me to run from Satan. Everything got sold, everything got taken. But this life I know, this life I know it. This life I know, this life I know it. You better watch your soul, keep one eye open. They say I'm chosen, they say I'm chosen. Boy, you better watch me close, my water frozen.
Welcome to the For the Love of God podcast. I am your host, Sarah, and I'm here today with our guest today, Jeffrey.
Yes, here in the flesh. Sure
Yes.
I am. Yeah.
So you wear multiple hats. He is
man.
a guest on today's show.
Yes.
You are also the producer of the show as well.
You already know.
And
Yes.
you're my brother. So that's a lot of work for you there.
Yeah, oh man, especially the last one.
The last one, yeah.
Especially.
It's a lot. But yes, so welcome to the first installment of For the Love of God, a podcast for young people that have faith in the God of Israel and young people trying to, survive this world and learn new things and just, be the best that they can be.
Right.
This podcast will bring you current news, popular events going on, things that, we care about and we think you guys will care about,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way of talking about it. I think when we first came up with the idea, kind of looking at the world and being how can we talk about the world through the lens of an Israelite, young person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's such a unique lens as well.
Definitely,
I haven't met anyone like me that has a
You're
foot
so
in
special,
both words. I know, exceptualizing myself.
Right.
I didn't like our community, Jeffrey. Where we have a foot in the world and a foot in Israel, and we kind of have to balance that because the reality is we do live in the world, but we have such a strong connection to our culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Definitely.
So hopefully this podcast will help young viewers like us,
Right.
kind of navigate that.
Hopefully they actually watch.
I know.
Find it entertaining and enjoyable too at the same time and
Exactly.
everything. So yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Exciting.
So I'm excited for today's episode.
Me too. I'm sort of in the dark in terms of what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Well, I'm definitely gonna bring it today since it's our first episode.
Yes, exactly. We gotta bring it. All right.
Yes. So it's only uphill from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I want to say Happy Purim.
Yes, happy Purim to those who are out there watching.
Yes.
It is March 14th as we're recording.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Today's Purim. We're celebrating it with our family today.
Yeah.
I hate that we don't get presents anymore. We kind of outgrew that.
Yeah.
You are more earlier than I did. I think this is the second or third year I did not get any presents.
You know, it's funny. Every year for Purim, I do try and either give gift or do something for myself that's a little bit new or different.
Really?
This year is a little bit different, but I try and give myself a nice little spa day at home. A little
Really?
bit. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
To kind of make it special, you
Yeah.
gotta make it, So,
so you could signify that day.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it is a day of celebration.
Of course. So you gotta celebrate those moments and make sure that you can enjoy the day and be comfortable and everything. So,
right. Because if you read the story of Purim, it's about celebrating life.
Yeah,
that we survived something and that something turned out great. So of course, I love that self-care day for Purim.
Yeah, self-care day on Purim Day.
That is the gift. As adults, we don't get gifts from anybody anymore, our elders. But that is a gift we could give ourselves. Every Purim, a self-care day.
Do a little mask.
Yes.
Do a little do a little foot soak.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Foot soak.
Yeah, do a little bath. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Exactly. Awesome. I love that. Yes.
All about that.
Yes. So as we talk about Purim and everything like that, we have been in this culture celebrating Purim and other religious days that we have all of my life. I was born in Israel.
Yeah.
I was offered up in Israel. My name is an Israelite name, Sarah.
Right.
You kind of have
You on the other hand.
You on the other hand.
Yeah, so I was not born in the Israelite nation, Worldwide Ministries. I was named after my dad, or our dad.
Yeah, our dad.
I was not offered up, but I did come in as a child, so it's really the majority of what I know. I do remember other things back when I was younger, but this is sort of the majority of what I sort of grew up doing for sure.
Yeah, I think you have an interesting take and like journey through this because what you went through at 7, I believe that's when you came into
No,
Israel.
I was actually like maybe like 4 or 5.
Really?
Around there.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a little bit older.
No, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I was 7, you'd been born already.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I didn't do the math in my head with that one. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so you came when you were 4
Yeah,
with mom and dad.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this ever since. And it's
Yeah.
been great. I love it. Love that we get to connect to people like us through these different ways,
For sure.
especially in COVID and everything. Everything's virtual.
Yeah.
So I love that this exists now.
Yeah.
That we could have another avenue of connecting with other Israelites out there. So let's move on to the first segment of today's episode.
Excited?
Are you excited for this?
I am.
It is called
segments.
Under the Bushel.
Under the Bushel. All
Yes,
right.
let
Under
me
the
put
bushel.
you on.
Yeah.
That's basically the theme of this type of segments. Let me put you on. So it's kind of low-key things out there that people aren't really talking about, they aren't really engaging with, I'm not really seeing on social media, but I've experienced it, and so I'm putting a stamp on it and saying you should experience it too.
I like it. I like it. It's
You
good.
guys should experience it too.
Gotcha.
It's going to be certain different things that I find out throughout the week that I just want to share. And this week, it's a book that I actually started and finished in like a week. It was really good. It's called Who Fears Death by Ninindi Okorafor.
Okay.
I'm totally botching her name.
Okay.
It's like it's a Nigerian author.
Gotcha.
And she writes about like post-apocalyptic Africa.
Okay,
basically.
cool.
And all
Very
her
cool.
books are really sci-fi. She's
Nice.
an amazing writer.
I like that.
She
yeah.
gets really descriptive, and so it feels like there's a movie playing out in your head.
Nice. I like that.
It's amazing. Who Fears Death? Check it out, please. It's so good.
Cool. I actually really love like black or the idea of black sci-fi. I haven't really got into reading a lot of black sci-fi like recently.
Yeah.
But I will say like the idea behind it seems really cool, and I feel like because it's such like an untouched territory, or at least to my knowledge in pop culture, I think it'd be really cool to like get into that, and I could definitely see that being more in even like films and TV series
More
and everything.
mainstream.
Did you see there was a show called on HBO about country?
Love Country.
Love Country.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started.
I actually really liked that show.
I loved it.
It started out where I like wasn't too sure, but I
Yes.
kept going and I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And I think not just films, but even books with that sort of theme, I think I would really enjoy. You know?
It was a really good show. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's
For sure, yeah,
Lovecraft
definitely.
Country on HBO.
Yeah.
And it combines history, drama, and sci-fi.
Yeah.
I love talking about, especially nowadays, where more creators are creating Black stories, but not just your typical Black stories. It's like reaching out into different sects that we have not seen before, which is Black sci-fi is a big one that I'm starting to see now.
I love it.
I love it so much.
I love it.
So yeah, that was this week's little Under the Bushel.
I don't get a.
Oh,
Under
you
the
have a book
Bushel-
recommendation?
Not necessarily a book, but I think for my Under the Bushel segment, I think I've been really listening to a lot of like different music, and so the my sort of song or like EP, I guess, that people have not really been talking about is a EP from an artist named Leon Bridges.
Ooh.
So he's a really great singer. He's a Black singer, but he did like a small EP, and one of the songs on the EP is called Chocolate Hills, and it's literally like the most beautiful like song I've ever heard in my life, but no one's talking about it, so I figure this would be a good time to sort of bring it up. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Leon Bridges, I've heard him before. He
Yeah.
did like a popular song a while ago.
Yeah, he's done like a lot of cool songs that you may hear like in like Black films and stuff,
Yeah.
like in like
Yes.
the background or whatever. But this song, Chocolate Hills, I promise you, is just like phenomenal.
Really?
So check that out for sure.
I'll definitely check that
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna personally check that
Yeah,
out
yeah.
and see if it lives up to the hype. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
All right, let's change gears after that. In this new segment, it's a play on words,
Okay.
and it's one word. And
All
guess
right.
what that word is?
I have no idea.
It's word.
Word,
It's a
okay.
word.
The word is word.
It's
Okay.
word is word. It's the word of the day.
In the beginning was the word type of thing?
Yeah, exactly. The
Gotcha,
beginning
gotcha.
was the word, God's word,
There you
things
go.
like that. We say words.
Yes, I
It's
like it.
all words, you know. And it's kind of a play on it. So we're
Okay.
gonna say it 2 different ways, and you're gonna help me.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna be like word, and you're gonna be like word.
Okay.
Yes. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I like
so you're gonna help me do this.
Okay, I got
okay.
you. I got you.
Introduce the next title, the
All
next
right.
segment of today. Word.
Word.
Exactly. Word.
Word.
Word. Hopefully you're seeing it out there as well. Join us.
Word.
Word. Exactly. So this segment is where we do talk about the lessons that we engage with Friday night and Saturday afternoon with Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries.
Gotcha.
In this segment, it's just going to be summarizing that for us, so we're all up to date. I know we live busy lives out there. So in case you missed it, or in case you just want to hear about it a little more again, we're going to be summarizing it for you guys on every episode.
I like that.
Yeah, I love that too. So this past Friday night lesson, we had Elder Kurt and Uncle Jermaine from the New Jersey branch of Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, and their topic was Behind the Spirit of Witchcraft.
Ooh, deep.
It was deep. It was so interesting.
Yeah.
Because like witchcraft, I mean, I grew up watching a lot of supernatural stuff and things like that, and just so hearing about like Israel's perspective on that type of thing was really interesting as well. And normally how we think witchcraft is like potions and witches and things like that.
Harry Potter almost.
Harry Potter, exactly. Yeah. But there's actually, it's more subtle and a little bit more like dangerous the way witchcraft is used today.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely tune into that Friday night, last Friday night's episode to see kind of more information about that.
For sure. You know, that's the good thing about the Friday night and the Saturday messages now, like because they're all recorded, you can always go back to them.
Always go back.
You know, which is, I think is cool.
And I think they keep the comments on there.
Yeah.
So you can see what everyone else is talking about it as well.
That. Yeah,
I love it so much.
For sure, yeah.
And for the Saturday lesson, we had, it was actually amazing. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good. It was different. It too, You saw it? Yeah. It was different than what they usually do.
I liked it, yeah.
It was Officer Charmaine, Elder Donna, Priest Doreen, and Minister Charmaine talking about marriage. Yeah. And it was like set up in this cool like Q&A type panel, you know, interaction with everyone.
Yeah. I saw a lot of cool questions on there too as well.
Yes.
Yeah. People
so they
were
were
really
actually
engaged.
Yeah. They were actually taking questions from the audience live.
That's dope.
Yeah, I love it. And so they were talking about how marriage in Israel, the role of a man and a woman during that union. Yeah, deep. A lot of serious questions, a lot of like, getting real with everyone. Yeah. It was really cool.
I like that though, because it's like, you know, as Israelites, it's like, of course we know scripture and Bible and things of that nature, but it's like, how do you implement scripture into your life? You know what I'm saying? How do you like, be the best wife or husband you can be when you are at that age? And especially with us in our age group, even though I'm older than you, it's like you get to the point of like dating and things of that nature. As things get more serious, as you're an Israelite, trying to consider like how does marriage look. So I thought that's really cool to sort of like speak about that for sure.
Right, because the reality is we do live in the world and they do things very differently than we do. Yeah. So I love talks like this where we get to get real with each other. Yeah. And talk about, okay, that's what everyone else does. What is our traditions? What does this look like for Israel?
Definitely, yeah.
So we could continue living in that our whole lives.
Exactly, yeah.
So I love that. And as you said before, these are recorded, so you could watch them anytime on your phone,
as many times as you
want,
on
your computer,
watch
on
them
your
10
TV.
times if you want to.
10 times. You can memorize every word that they're saying if you want.
Yes. Really.
So check out Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries on YouTube. And Friday nights are 7:30 Eastern time, and Saturday afternoons are 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And as we know, it's online. I know they used to be in person, you know, branch by branch used to have their own little thing Friday and Saturday nights. Yeah. How do you like this new turn to virtual stuff after the pandemic? Yeah,
I think it has its pros and cons, I think, for me, because I think I am very much like an interactive type of learner, you know? And so I think for that, I do miss the in-person, but I'm glad that in this time of like pandemic and COVID-19 and trying to be safe and, you know, concerned with your health, I like that we're able to still speak about these like important topics. Yes. And still, as I mentioned, because you can go back and sort of like watch them, and a lot more people can actually have access to this message, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you go to a Friday night or a Saturday and maybe only the people in that room are ever going to really like be able to hear what that is being said there. But with this, like 1,000 people can hear, 2,000, you know what I'm saying? Or more. So I think it's cool to see it like spread throughout the internet like that, you know?
The reach is definitely greater.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, I like you said, I do miss the personal aspect of having each lesson just branch by branch.
Yeah.
It was a time for us to connect with with everyone
Yeah.
on a personal basis. Just check in on with people in your nation.
Yeah.
But online, it definitely has its perks.
It does.
It definitely has its perks. You can
Right.
watch it anytime.
You could be in your bed.
You could be in your bed.
In your pajamas.
With your breakfast.
With your breakfast right next to you. Exactly. Some hot chocolate or tea. And you could be watching a really good message. On Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
That's a late morning, but on Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
Or again, you can be having dinner
Yes.
while you're, like enjoying that Friday night too as well. So
you can send it to your friends. They could watch it. They don't need to go anywhere with
exactly.
you. They just need to have a phone.
Yeah. So in the past, if your friend ever had an excuse not to go to like church or whatever, and then you said, "No, bro, I actually have a link. You don't even got to go anywhere.
Yes, you don't have to
Take
go
the
nowhere.
link and watch it. Watch something that's gonna be good for your spirit. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it.
I love that. I love that. So definitely check out those episodes and way more. There's so many more. We've been doing this for a couple of years now online.
Yeah.
So check those out.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to the next segment of today.
Segment number 3.
We're moving along. It is called What's Poppin'?
What's poppin'?
What is poppin'? And it's kind of self-explanatory.
Okay,
yes.
I like it. Yeah.
Yes, what is poppin'? Kind of self-explanatory. It's just talking about current events, what's going on in the world that we may know or not know. Just have a conversation about it and how it relates to Israel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, who we are.
I like it.
So, as we know, hopefully we all know, hopefully no one's living under a rock. Ukraine's at war with Russia.
Yes, crazy.
Everyone should know this by now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's made world news. And, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
War happens all the time.
It does.
It does. Like, it's not always broadcasted, things like that. But it happens all the time in the world. Why was this one so broadcasted? Like, why does everyone know about it specifically?
Yeah, I think for this, because of our history with Russia, I think being in the United States anyway, history with Russia is like also one of like the dominant players on the globe in terms of like military power and spending power, and there has been like this like slow back and forth between Russia and the United States for like years.
Yeah,
even in
like
movies. Exactly. It's like even in movies they're like, oh, that Russia and like US conflict could blow up any minute now, you know what I'm saying? So I think that plus dealing with like NATO, and I think also with Ukraine, it is like a very like, I guess like a modernized, westernized, first world,
unquote. There's always all these quotes if you're listening on the podcast version. There's quotes.
All of those quotes type of country, and so I think it gets a lot of attention in the media because of that too as well.
Yeah, Russia is a big deal, I guess, in world news in general.
Yeah.
Every time they make a move, it's like breaking news.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I know everyone knows how this war right now is kind of affecting gas prices.
Bruh.
So it's so ridiculous.
I saw at a gas pump the other day. I was in New York, and it was like almost $6.
No way.
And I was like, what? That's
no
insane,
way.
bro. Like,
$6?
Yes, like I'm literally about to like pull up to gas stations and be like, can I get like $6, please? Like that's all I got. So
it's $6. Oh, $6?
Yeah, $6. Yeah. I mean, most places like $5, but this one in particular, it was like at least $6. It was like
I know in the Midwest, I was just looking around, and I've seen $4.50.
Yeah,
and
even that
I was freaking out,
bro. Like, yeah,
$6.
I remember growing up that gas used to be like $1 or something.
$1.
I don't know. In my mind, I even remember seeing like 99 cents.
Really?
Maybe I'm lying.
I mean, you grew up in the 90s.
I remember it being very, very cheap.
Yes.
And now to see it at like 5 and 6 and 7, like again, that's nuts. And I know it has to do with inflation, but also this Russia situation. It's just like completely insane.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah,
I feel like this past year, I've been feeling like preparation in my body, like something's gonna happen. It's like this build up to something. And that's not sustainable. Yeah. The $6 gas.
Bro, yeah. Like people are gonna start. But you know what's really funny? If you have an electric car right now, you're laughing everybody.
You should have got on that.
Exactly. You should have been on that wave already. But I know that Tesla stock is going to go up.
Yeah.
So buy some Tesla. I'm kidding. But no, I think it's a crazy situation over there. But at the same time, I think one of the things that I think is always interesting is just how we talk about different narratives.
Yeah.
And I think, even the idea that we put this Ukraine and Russia situation in the forefront in the news, as you mentioned, there's war all the time in the world, and even the U.S. is involved in other conflicts throughout the world. And so to kind of see this one be highlighted, I think sometimes it feels almost like a slap in the face, only because I feel like there are so many other conflicts with people of color that
Right.
don't get talked about at
Don't
all.
get talked about.
And so therefore, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, well, why are we all showing support in this moment, but not in moments where it's like countries of people of color?
Because
You know what I'm saying?
capitalism, bro.
Of course, yeah.
Because U.S. has stakes in Russia and
Yeah.
Ukraine because they're first world countries, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I think Russia has like a lot of produce, like corn, things
Yeah.
like that. Russia was producing it.
Yeah.
So U.S. is gonna care about it once their pockets start getting tight
right.
and they
right,
start
yeah.
losing money.
Yeah, which I guess it always brings me back to, like, what is the real reason for things? Like, I think as an Israelite, you kind of learn to like have that kind of message or that kind of like thinking sometimes is like, well, this is what you're being presented with.
Yeah.
But to have that like cautious mind to kind of say, well, what's the real reason behind this? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it can't be about morality. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there's wars every day, and it's
Yeah.
like we don't really get involved in those.
Yeah.
We don't really like talk about those, show support for those, donate money to those. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the cause here? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
And it's just hard for me. I know in the beginning, I was even reposting things, Ukraine, this is crazy, going to war, things like that, like on social media. But then I started seeing things like Ukraine is being discriminatory towards black
I saw
people
some videos like that, yeah, too.
in
yeah.
the state. Like they're not allowing them to leave, like evacuate, like all the other people are doing, cutting up their passports so they can't travel.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. How are you going to ask the world for help, but then be discriminatory
against.
towards your own people? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
And I know too, it's like, it kind of reminds me though that like when it comes to being a black person, a Jacobite, or just again a person of color, I think it's like you realize, like, again, like the idea of white supremacy, the idea of, even if you want to talk about Christianity, the idea of just these different like oppressive institutions, I guess, are worldwide.
Yeah.
And it's kind of depressing sometimes. It's like, no matter where you go, that has to be your question. Like, even when I talk about, I want to do like a lot of traveling, and I'm like, oh, I want to travel to Europe, I want to travel to these countries. The first thought is, how racist? It's like, how racist is the country? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I think that the idea that even in time of war, like, you got to be thinking of, am I going to be judged, by the color of my skin is completely crazy. Which again lets us know as Jacobites here, especially in this country, or as Israelites in this country, like, we can't just go on like the bandwagon of like, let me show support here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like thinking very critically, like, is this in my interest? Yeah. Is my investment in this, showing support for this, going to help me?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we should not. I'm just saying, just think about it more.
Critical
you know what
thinking.
I'm saying? Yeah. Critical thinking.
Yeah. Don't just care about it because the world's caring about it, but investigate. Is this something we actually should be caring about? And that's a great segue to my question that I was going to have was, as Israelites, do we care that this war is happening? Yeah. Like, should we care if other world wars happen, things like that?
I think we should, because I think at the end of the day, I think when we tend to see the like pattern in history is a lot of the wars end up being in some way, shape, or form really about us as Israelites. And I don't mean that in like a very cocky way or anything, but the reality is, like, our story as Israelites sort of shapes how the world moves. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important for us to stay alert and to be aware of how things are moving and stay like alert with like the current events. But again, don't get emotionally caught up in these things, and don't get emotionally caught up in the surface level of what something is about. Understand that, like, again, your God is in charge, and there's usually a bigger picture outside of what you're being shown. So I think, again, thinking very critically is the main thing. But I think you should, again, still be alert and up to date and sort of know what's going on around you, for sure.
I definitely agree with that. I think as Israelites, as people in the world, and as a strength of a nation, we need to be constantly like have a swivel head about what's going on in the world, but don't necessarily take on that burden.
Exactly.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just be like smart about it.
Definitely.
Critical think, stuff like that. Okay, so after that heavy topic of war and things like that. Let's talk about the Batman movie.
Batman, yeah. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers.
I haven't seen it yet either.
No spoilers.
But I am so hyped for it.
Yeah, me too.
Because, okay, I'm going to geek out for a second.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson. I have loved this man since Twilight.
I actually really like him. So the reason why I like him, though, and the reason why I think he would do a good job is because there are certain actors that they're like known for specific things. Like, for example, Tom Holland in Spider-Man, Robert Pattinson in Twilight. But sometimes those actors, when they get a chance to like prove they can actually act beyond that role, they do amazing.
Yes.
And I'm not sure it's because they have something to prove, but I've seen Tom Holland in like a separate movie outside of Spider-Man.
Really?
And he killed that role.
Really?
So I'm confident that Robert Pattinson is going to do a great job in the Batman. I'm excited for it. And just from like the trailer, it looks pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I do love seeing actors kind of have that versatility in what they are in.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes when you just see the trailer, you know, if the movie's terrible, that's fine, but he's going to do a great job.
Yeah. That's what I like, bro. Like when you can tell that an actor or like an actress really took on that role to the point where like you're like, they might even have a hard time letting go of the role when they go home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love, like, for example, to the late what's the guy that did Joker?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, bro, he did such a good job.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he did such a good job. And people like that, I think, when they really put their all into acting, I think beauty comes out.
Beauty.
You know what I'm saying?
It's such beauty. Yeah. Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, I
Love
mean,
her.
Zoe Kravitz, I love her. She looks just like her mom, and
She does.
I had a crush on her mom when I was
Right?
younger.
I've
so,
loved her
like,
since Bill Cosby and Lisa Monet. I was gonna say Bonet.
Yeah.
Monet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do a good job too as well. Again, she's one of those people who we don't see in movies a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think again she has something to prove.
You're right.
But also even outside of that, I think just her style and her like the way that she is as a person, like, again in pop culture, I think she's gonna add something to the movie to like give it that nice flair it needs.
Pizzazz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
And I don't think she would be a part of a project that wasn't gonna be like good in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Has some type of creativity edge or something else like that.
Yeah.
Yes. I did hear the movie is very long.
I heard that too, yeah.
When you
Like
like
3
sit down
hours
and
or
watch
whatever.
it, like be prepared. It's gonna
I
be
don't
like
mind
3
that at
hours.
all. I actually like long movies because they're usually good. They're usually
It
good.
depends.
Yeah.
Like Titanic was okay, the long movie.
Titanic is like one of the best movies in the world. Like in the top 10 movies all the time.
It was good because it
Yeah.
kept us intrigued. There
Yeah.
was, it was moved very fast.
Right.
All of a sudden. But there's a point in long movies where if I'm looking around, like, okay, this has been a while, then I'm like, this is a long movie. It has to be worth it.
I
It
got
has to
you.
be worth it. So I really hope it's worth it. I'm gonna check that out pretty soon too.
For sure.
So hopefully I
For
can
sure.
come back with the review for you guys, how that
Yeah.
was. Speaking of movies though, okay, we talk about the characters, love the characters, but the actual concept remaking Batman, how do we feel about this new wave the past 5 years? Most new movies out there were like remakes
of movies,
of old movies.
I think I'm torn. I think on the one hand, I really do like that we can have a new generation excited about popular concepts and ideas. But at the same time, it shows you that there is so little creativity in Hollywood and in music and all these things. It's like we do the same thing over and over and over, and I think it is time for like new ideas for sure.
Because I remember they remade Batman when I was like 7. Because from
they
the
keep doing it,
cartoon, from like real people.
Right.
They did that with James Bond.
Over
did it
and
with
over,
a plethora of Disney movies.
Yeah.
Remade it.
Yeah, The Lion King.
Lion King, yeah. I think I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I honestly think I'm tired of it. You're right. I think the creativity is just not there. It's all about money, and they know people already know these storylines.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make money off of this.
You're right. Yeah.
I think we need something new. I think what I think we're ready for is the Israelite movie. Yes,
That's what I'm
slow clap
saying.
for that.
Yes.
Yes, I needed Israel. I need to see my people on the big screen
I
in
agree.
all its glory.
I agree. I
It's
feel like
ready.
it's time. And
It's time.
there are stories that I read in the scriptures. I'm like, if this was on screen, it would kill,
oh my
bro.
gosh.
When you read
my gosh.
in the Bible, Exodus and Leviticus, and you see, like, again, the real way
Yes.
that the Israelites came out of Egypt, and you see the real way that they acted in like the wilderness.
The
that
drama.
on screen, the drama would be.
drama.
And if they like actually casted great
Yes.
black actors,
Black actors, black artists, black
yes,
producers,
then I
black
think
editors.
it would be amazing,
Yes.
right? And it would be great again for an Israelite director and an Israelite writer to actually
Yes.
do that, to put in the proper spiritual things that need to be put in there, like in the script. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Not only that, the story of David.
Oh my God! Can
story
you
of
imagine
can
the
you
trilogy,
imagine that? Bro.
the epilogue, the trilogy, the
Yeah.
series of David's stories?
To see
Oh my
David's
God.
story as like a series on Netflix or on like Hulu, whatever,
Yes.
and done well with good quality, everything would be killer.
It would be so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like people like
I would pay for that for sure.
I would pay for that too. And it's
Yeah.
not even just like, of course, Israel. We love talking about our ancestors, things like
Yeah.
that. But it's just pure, like the creativity that would go into filming something like
Yeah.
that. It's in such a new storyline.
Yeah.
That not many people know.
Yeah,
It would do.
I agree.
It would do so well.
it would do really killer. And
Yeah.
two, like, man, like I really feel even too to see the beauty of the culture, to see beautiful Israelite people on screen,
Yes.
to see like, for example, I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago about like, what was the clothing like at the time,
Yes.
like to do the research into like the clothing, the culture aspects of like how they dressed, how they acted like with each other would be so cool to see that portrayed on
Yes.
on screen. And I think it's time that we did see that on the big screen.
It's
You know what I'm
time.
saying?
I think Hollywood has transitioned now to very popular black directors and producers. You start seeing that like in, of course, Black Panther,
Yeah.
Jordan Peele, in that Netflix movie that I loved. I didn't hear anyone else talk about it, but I loved it. That cowboy movie.
Oh yes.
And you start seeing people, okay, now they're starting to take into account black people have different types of lighting that need their face to shine during it. They have
Yes.
different artists, producers. Now we're getting closer and closer. Just take a few steps
Exactly
more,
right, yeah.
and we'll
I hope
get
in my
into-
lifetime, I want to see an Israelite series
Yes.
and an Israelite movie on the big screen.
Yes.
And all types of Israelite-based content that is just done with great quality, because it's time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think we're in an era where everybody has access to at least some form of like media creating tools.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see like things that sort of try to mimic it. But again, I really want to see it done with like that big $1 million budget or more. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see it done well. So
Yes.
yeah.
What would your first story you'd want to be?
The first story, that's a good question. I think I would want to see like the story of Moses done like accurately and done well, and with again like black actors, and again with that Israelite culture in mind. And then the next one I want to see in a series form is David. Saul and David. Saul and David. Yeah. Saul and David.
That is my top is David.
Yeah.
There's so like if you actually read like scripture by scripture,
His story.
History. Oh my God, it is so much drama.
Yeah.
So much going on. Those fight scenes will be phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh
on the
man.
big screen.
Can you
I love
imagine
it.
seeing a scene where like you have Saul and David, and Saul is throwing the javelin at David and it hits the
Yes.
wall? That could be done so well.
So well.
Israelite directors, actors, and screenplay writers,
Yes.
please come up with something and let's do it.
This is the official
Yeah.
call to action for all
Yes.
those great creatives out there.
Let's do it. Set it up.
Do it. I
Set it
actually want to see it. I want to see some
Yeah.
concepts on that
Yeah.
soon.
Give me a call and I'll produce it for you. Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Speaking of popular, historical stories, I know we said it's Purim. Again, happy Purim, everyone.
Happy Purim.
And that story of Purim is in the book of Esther in the Bible.
Yeah.
How do we feel like that story kind of impacts our life? Just to connect with that on this day, so we could kind of
For sure, yeah.
pay respects.
I think for me, I really like Purim. As I said, I try and make it a day where either I give gifts or I do something nice for myself, or both. And I think for me, I think it's so interesting too, because I think it allows us to also put light on Israelite women. And I think, for us as, a community and as a culture, I feel like we don't do that enough to really like emphasize the importance in Israelite women and their stories too as well. So I love that we get to celebrate Hadassah or Esther, and just like see that story as like the ultimate version of like women empowerment and sort of that power that is in an Israelite woman. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always love the story, and I try and make it a day that is, fun and just a dope day.
I love that.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, I know personally in my life that the reading about Esther / Hadassah, I think it empowers me as an Israelite woman, knowing that she did all that she did.
Yeah, for sure.
As a young woman.
Yeah.
And saved hundreds of Israelites' lives.
Yeah.
And I just love the female Israelite representation.
For sure,
I think a lot of popular, well-known Israelite stories out there are male-centered, and this is one that is female-centered, to where we get our victory comes from the hand of a female.
Yeah.
I think that's important, especially for the females out there. They need to be able to see themselves in the stories that we read, in the history that we investigate.
Definitely.
I think that's so important.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So I love that story.
And two, I think this is also a day. I'm not saying to make it an official thing, but I think for Israelite men who are out there, this is a cool day to show an Israelite woman that you appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your mom or your sister,
right, or
like a significant other, do something nice for them. You know what I'm saying? Like if not every day, at least on Purim. You know what I'm saying?
Today, yes, today.
Exactly. You know
definitely.
what I'm saying?
So I hope everyone out there's had a really, really good Purim. You're celebrating with your families.
For real, yeah.
Hopefully the little ones get really nice gifts.
Yeah.
And take some time to self-care.
For sure.
Really, kind of think about the story and just feel good. Celebrate today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So now it's time for our final segment of today's episode.
Okay.
It's Let's Get Biblical, yo.
Let's get biblical,
yo. Let's get biblical,
okay,
yo.
I like it.
Yes. And it's basically a trivia game.
Okay.
For biblical topics.
Got it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's a trivia. It has numerous questions. And these questions, you either tell me where the quote is from, what time period it was from, like what was happening.
Oh boy, okay.
Or finish the sentence, fill in the blank, things like that. Not too hard. You got this.
Okay.
You got this. Please play along at home as well. Let me know if you guys got these, okay? So here's the first quote. Okay. Tell me who said this and kind of where it can be found.
Gotcha.
Let there be light.
God.
Yes. Yep. And kind of, you don't give the exact scripture, but where in the Bible?
Somewhere in Genesis chapter 1.
Yep, Genesis chapter 1. You are correct. Yes, let there be light. God, for sure.
I'm gonna put a score here to see.
A score, yeah. He got a point.
I got one, yeah.
Okay, this is a long one. So you're gonna tell me what was happening during this time, who's speaking, things like that. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
I'm going to say God.
God.
Specifically, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yes.
I think, yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Good one. All right, what was happening around this time?
Well, it could be after any period of slavery.
Yes.
But I think the most famous one is probably after they come out of Egypt.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. What gave it away?
Ding, ding, ding. I don't know. I really good guess.
You got a feeling about it? I know for me, it's thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. I remember in that book, God was talking to Moses, and then Moses was then talking to the children.
Yeah.
So he was telling him, go teach them certain things. Yeah. Okay, third one.
Okay.
Ready for this?
I'm ready.
Am I my brother's keeper?
That is a tough one. Am I my brother's keeper? It's a pretty popular phrase we say in modern day.
Yeah.
But in the scriptures, famous brothers, I know Jacob and Esau is one. I know they're brothers in the New Testament too as well. And also Shem, Japheth, and Ham. But I'm going to go with the first set of brothers, Cain and Abel.
Yes.
And I'm
but who said it specifically?
Cain.
Yes.
Ding,
oh
ding,
my
ding,
gosh.
ding, ding.
I thought that was going to stump you. Because whenever I think of this, I'm always like, is it Cain or Abel? Cain or Abel who said this?
Yeah, who would say that? Yeah.
Yes, but I literally saw your thought process.
Yeah,
I'm glad you shared that with us.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
Step-by-step process.
Yes. But okay, you got 3 points so far.
Hey,
Let's see if I could stump you on this one. In what book and chapter do we find the instruction on the Sabbath?
On the Sabbath.
Sabbath day, yes.
I think it's in multiple, but I'm gonna say it in. You can find it in Exodus, but I think you can also find it in like Leviticus. So Leviticus 23 or something like that.
Do you know the verse?
Oh gosh, no, I don't know the verse.
It's 23:3.
Okay, cool,
Yes.
cool. Gotcha,
Yes,
gotcha.
but you got that right too.
Hey, ding, ding, ding,
Look
ding,
at
ding.
you, 4 points.
Hey.
4 points.
I like
All
it.
right, this one hopefully it stumps you.
Okay,
You have to finish it. You could go as long as you want because it's kind of a long one.
gotcha,
But I'm only going to give you a short entrance to it. Ready?
gotcha.
There shall no strange God be in thee.
Neither shall thou worship any strange god. Ding, 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 ding.
Keep going. Keep going.
I don't know the rest of it.
I'm the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open the mouth wide, and I will fill it.
Here you go.
My
yeah.
people will not hearken unto my. Yes, yes.
There you go. That's Psalms 81.
Yes, Psalms
There you go.
81.
Yeah,
Yes, I love that scripture. That's
Me
like my
too.
favorite scripture.
Yeah.
Every time we say it, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like it.
But oh my God,
Hey.
hey, you got all 5 points. Look at
Really good.
you. Hopefully, you guys got the same score at home.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Ooh, I'm sweating. Ooh.
That was a tough one. Got you
Yeah,
tense over here.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's what I love to do with my guests on this show. Get them a
Make
little
them tense.
tense.
I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put them on the spot, things
Yeah.
like that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this first installment of For the Love of God. It has been so great talking with you today here, Jeffrey.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been fun.
It's definitely been
Yeah,
fun.
I'm usually behind the scenes,
Yes.
but it's good to be.
But now you have the
up front.
lights, camera action
Kinda all
on you.
shining on me, yeah.
Yes.
As a black man.
As a black man, yes.
Israelite man, there we go.
Yes. But definitely tune in for the next episode shortly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know. Comment, like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
And yeah. Have a happy Purim, everyone.
Happy Purim for the love of God.
Signing out, Sarah and Jeffrey today.
Oh.